It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the Morning. This is Minnesota's 92 KQRS for Thursday, August the 14th. Good morning. I'm here alongside Paul Fletcher.
I got my best wig out to go bowling tonight, like Big Earn.
Attaboy. Looking
Let's
forward
go.
to it. Ryder.
What?
You're so merged with your own selfishness. You don't even identify it as selfishness anymore. You're such a...
Every day I wake up and I hope you're dead. I hope you get an illness and then get hit by a car and die.
Joe Pohlad ran into some Twins fans outside of Target Field.
Wow, and you
I was
happened
a little
to be
bit of their conversation. I was just walking by and I was stunned.
Wow.
I couldn't believe he would show his face.
I can't believe you were in the right place at the right time. Like, that's unbelievable you were able to catch that.
That's how I roll. That's called producing, man.
That's right.
No, that's executive producing. Thank you.
Some people rock, some people roll. We like to give you a little bit of both around here. Right now, we're feeling Minnesota. So, Paul Fletcher, headlines, please.
How can I top that? I quit. I'm going home. Ever wonder exactly how much the top vendors make at the state fair? Well, let's actually take guesses. Can you, first of all, let's see if you can guess somebody that's in the top five. One of them's probably pretty easy.
Sweet Martha's.
All right, that's number one. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Steve, can you guess one?
I mean,
I
that
took
tiny,
the easy one.
Is that the tiny bag of donuts people, or is that somebody else?
No, the tiny bag of donuts people aren't in there, unfortunately.
No?
What?
Sweet Martha's Cookie Jar was the number one answer on the board. 3 locations, $4.9 million during last year's State Fair. This is a 2024 revenue report that was just put out. Ryder, you want to guess any of the 2 through 5?
2 through 5 is the mousetrap cheese curds.
That's number 3. Good job. They only have this. It's impressive because they only have one location. Martha's got 3. The mouth traps only got one location, $1.6 million. Yeah, that's right. Pronto Pups has 8 locations. They came in at number 2 with $2.3 million.
Okay.
And then you have the Perfect Pickle, 2 locations, $1.5, and Fresh French Fries at 1.4.
Oh,
I can't believe the French fries is number 5. Like, I guess makes sense, but
everybody enjoys a continental flair.
Yeah.
You put French in front of anything, we're going to feel like we're a little smarter.
Absolutely. It's just, what are we? A week from today. It's absurd.
7 days. Yes.
Holy buckets. Amazon announced yesterday that it has expanded same-day grocery delivery to more than 1,000 cities with plans to reach more than 2,300 by the end of the year. Prime members get free delivery for orders $25 and up with a $2.99 fee for smaller orders. I mean, really? I like picking out, like, my produce. I like picking things out. I don't want it done by somebody else.
Yeah, I do my own laundry and I buy my own food. It's real simple. When I started seeing people, what's the company where they send a guy and they go and they get your groceries
or whatever?
Whatever. There's another one, but I just remember seeing like 3 people at the grocery store once and they all had the same T-shirt on, and I was like, "What's going on here?" And Rosemary goes, "That's a delivery service. Someone come in, they buy your groceries, and she goes, maybe we should try that once." And I said, I will leave the home if you do that. No, I'm not asking someone. It's bad enough to have someone bring me a pizza, which I do, but bring me groceries? Sorry, I got to look through that crap myself.
My mom's had Coburn's and Cub delivered to her. Loves it. So, for some people, it's working.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I'm sure it's great. This is a me problem.
Okay.
One
I
more.
said, I refuse to let other people do my laundry. This is a me issue.
That's fair.
Yeah. One more nugget to tack onto this because it's just mind-boggling. Amazon's gross sales last year topped $100 billion from more than 150 million customers. However, the company lags behind Walmart in grocery sales. So they're upping their efforts because $100 billion isn't enough.
We can't have that.
No. Can't be second to Walmart.
He had to take over Venice for his wedding because Rome was too expensive.
Yeah. If it's $100 billion, give those guys time to pee. Come on.
Yeah.
You'd think. They could I've been on tour buses with plumbing. Those Amazon trucks, there's room in there for a urinal.
Absolutely. Especially the new ones. Those are crazy looking and they got plenty of room. Check this out. A Plymouth man faces 4 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of money laundering for allegedly embezzling over $1 million from his former employer. 52-year-old Christopher Septon worked for Ellis Properties, a family-run commercial real estate business, for 14 years. He charged more than $800,000 on the company card, directing the payments to his accounts. Septon also impersonated the city of Minneapolis, the Metropolitan Council, the Minnesota Department of Agriculture, and the MPCA to fraudulently take money. He made his initial court appearance on Tuesday.
Damn.
Wow.
That's a lot of
pretty
money.
strong.
Got
Hey,
a
Paul,
couple of
I'll
stones on
tell
that guy.
you, Ryder and I actually were doing some research. We were thinking of embezzling from the company, and we realized we'd end up actually paying in. So we thought, no, we're not going to bring Fletcher in on this. We'll all just end up in debt.
Yeah.
I appreciate you protecting my interests.
Yeah, sure. At least I did.
There will be one prince, but now a new actor has been named for his most famous role. Chris Collins will play the Kid in the upcoming stage musical version of Purple Rain. Chris Collins is described as an up-and-coming singer-songwriter. Actress Rachel Webb, who was in a Broadway show called Anne Juliet, will play the role of Apollonia. The Purple Rain stage musical is set to debut from October 16th through November 16th at the State Theater, Minneapolis. No date set yet for the Broadway run.
Fair enough.
The number of Americans who drink alcohol just hit a new all-time low. A new Gallup poll released yesterday found just 54% of us sometimes have a drink or two. That's the lowest since Gallup started tracking it back in 1939. Back then, 58% said they drank at least occasionally. Until now, the lowest was 55% in 1958. America's drinking rate has been plummeting since the pandemic. In 2022, 67% said they were drinkers. One reason for the decline, they say, is more people see it as a health risk now, and young people are a big part of that trend.
It was 54%?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
current.
seems right. I knew only half the people were cool anyway.
Well, the rest of us, we're picking up the slack for him. It's okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
gotta drink twice as much now.
That's it.
Get after it. Chrissy Hynde has announced a new album called Duets Special, featuring collabs with Brandon Flowers of The Killers, Debbie Harry, Dave Gahan, Shirley Manson of Garbage, the late, great Mark Lanigan, and more. The 13-track album is set for release on October 17th.
I'll take a listen.
Rumor has it Taylor Swift moved her new album release to October 3rd because she didn't want to compete with Chrissy Hynde's album.
I tell you what, I'd love to see the two of them leg wrestle. My money's on Chrissy. I mean, Taylor's in shape, and she does that 3-hour treadmill thing. But Chrissy's got old women anger. She'll wipe up the floor with Taylor Swift.
I don't know. Taylor's got really long legs. I'd like to just see a collab. How about that instead of leg wrestling?
Leg wrestling's way more fun, dude.
Yeah, man, come on.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody named Michelle Fox of New York City had a dream idea of finding her own diamond for her engagement ring, and she made it happen. The bride-to-be found a 2.3 carat colorless diamond while digging at Arkansas's Crater of Diamonds State Park. She planned to spend a month at one of them dig-em-yourself diamond sites open to the public, and she found her stone on day 21. It's the third largest diamond found there this year and worth $27,000. About 366 diamonds have been registered at Crater of Diamonds in 2025 alone, including 11 that weigh more than a carat each. That's impressive.
Crater of Diamonds.
Yeah, it's a state park.
Do you have to pay to go in there?
I don't think.
I'm just
I mean,
curious,
I'm sure there's a state park, like
entrance
fee or whatever.
fee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
entrance
If
fee.
the numbers of entrance, I'm just thinking maybe this is just a racket. Someone's just planting diamonds, knowing, well, for every 100 people that pay, if one guy finds a diamond, we're coming out ahead.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
the cynic in me.
So wait, she found a diamond worth like $26,000 and she's not selling it? She's just going to wear it?
That's what was her dream?
Okay.
My dream is
She had a
dream.
Let's
Bigger.
Let's pay down some debt and take a honeymoon, sister.
Yeah,
Jeez.
put a cubic zirconia on your finger and take a
Right.
vacation,
You're
right?
One of those fake diamonds.
Hey, man,
$15 a person to get into Crater of Diamonds State Park.
Thank
Okay.
you. That fake ring, nice trip thing worked for me, but do not mention that to my wife. Okay, let's talk sports. As we mentioned at the end of the show yesterday, while we were all staring at our screens in disbelief, the Pohlad family has changed their mind. Last year, they were like, yeah, we're out. And this year, they're like, no, we're not. I'm going to start with the quote. We see and hear the passion from our partners, the community, and Twins fans. That passion inspires us. This ownership group is committed to building a winning team. Stop with the BS. Just come clean and go, we didn't know what else to do with our lives. Can you imagine Bob Kraft saying something about that? I'm going to sell the Patriots. No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
I mean, George Steinbrenner, Mark Cuban. Just think of any owners you've ever known who are obsessed with winning. Would they ever decide to sell and then change their mind? Win or sell. That's how pro sports work. It's how they're supposed to work.
My thing is, it's like, we hear you. We've listened, and that's why we're going to keep the team. It's I can't believe after all of these decades that they still have the gall to sit there and just bold-faced lie to the entire state of Minnesota.
The passion of the Twins fans was moving. Oh, really? Because they just remembered there's a team in town?
Yeah.
Are they bad people or are they just bad owners? We don't know, but I do think of the Margaret Atwood quote. Stupid is the same as evil if you judge by the results.
The only thing I'll say, and you saw me yesterday and today, I'm as lit up as anybody. I will say this, I have a lot of friends that work for the team, and they're all very happy. They keep people around for forever. I think they are good people that take good care of their employees, but they don't care about the fans. That's the problem.
Yeah. So that makes them bad owners is the way I see the world.
Yeah,
Win
agreed.
or sell.
Agreed.
That's the great thing about pro sports. We're not here to build character. We're here to win games.
Yeah.
If you want to be character builder, go get some high school kids who need some help.
Yep. 100% agree.
I shouldn't have even gotten started. Hey, by the way, the Twins did beat the Yankees last night.
Hey,
Maybe they were so
go.
inspired. Byron Buxton Byron Buxton at length said, I'm thrilled to know the people who signed me are still in charge. That makes the conversations a bit easier. I've been under the Pohlads my whole tenure. I know the family a little bit. Very excited. Rocco said afterwards, one of the reasons I came to this organization was because of the family, the type of owners there, and how they treat people, to echo your words, Fletcher. However, the fire sale might give me and everyone else on the planet pause as to, good people are great. Good people are great. Go hang out with them. Go to their lake house. Win baseball games. Okay,
Yep.
I'm done for now.
No,
until an
you're
hour
right,
when I
though.
get pissed
You're
off again.
right.
Hey, you know what? There's some other teams in the area, but who cares? Plymouth, good to have you with us this morning. Plymouth, Minnesota, good folks, good people. I've spent some time in Plymouth.
Hildy Performing Arts Center, the outdoor amphitheater, is outstanding. Great spot to watch a live show.
Glad to know that.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Next time somebody challenges you to some Rochambeau, here's some stats you need to know.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors. Okay, first things first. Let's play, Paul. What are you throwing first?
I actually am the person who I look the other person in the eye and I try to read their mind, and then I make it up on the spot.
Oh, really? Ryder,
Yep.
What's your protocol?
I'm throwing rock. Ryder rocks. We're throwing rocks all the time.
Okay.
Don't think, just answer.
I have always been straight to the scissors. I think I just like throwing that
Really?
peace sign, and if you turn it upside down, then you look like you're, again, European flair, which is a way of telling someone to F off. That's just me as the smartest, but I always go scissors, and I realized I'm the worst there is, because most people say, 36% of people say they go rock. Everyone throws the rock.
All right.
Therefore,
My
your
people.
best chances statistically would be to go paper. Go paper, cover that rock. I'm in the worst position. I'm throwing scissors, and that's just not working well.
No.
However, if I'm playing against somebody who knows this stat, like Paul, if he's trying to read my mind and he goes, Steve knows that most people go rock, so I'll go paper, and then I go scissors, then I win. And then I think to myself, who came up with this stupid game?
Well, and here's the other thing. This violates the integrity of the game. Letting this information out to humanity, now most people are going to go paper, and it's going to skew. It's just, we shouldn't have published this report at all. We should have kept this silent.
We just threw the chessboard right onto the floor, like that scene in Searching for Bobby Fischer. Close your eyes. Imagine it now.
I've been to Bobby
Exactly what
Fischer's
just happened.
gravesite, by the way.
Oh, really?
We took Rochambeau and threw it under the bus, is what we just did.
That's what we did.
The game's ruined forever.
We're going to add a school bus to this situation. Yeah, but it's pretty useful, like settling arguments and stuff like that. I like it.
Do yourselves a favor. At some point, go watch the greatest television show ever produced called Patriot, and there's a Rochambeau scene that's one that I'm not even going to say anything other than you
Legendary.
will not believe what you see. As much as Rochambeau can be amazing, it's beyond that. Again, this could be a me problem now that I think about it, now that I hear myself saying out
you
loud.
told me. I've been blown off watching this show. I know it's your favorite, but now I'm in. I'm gonna watch until I see the Rochambeau scene.
It's just pure magic. If I were on a plane, which happens every now and again, and I were in trouble, and the pilot did something and helped me out, I'd be like, "Hey, man, that's really cool. Appreciate your help, bro." I mean, look, if you hold the door for me, I tend to nod and go, "Thanks." I mean, I just don't think about it. There's just certain things you do.
I'm shocked and amazed they have the time to say thanks for flying as I'm walking off the plane. You're the freaking pilot.
That's true. That's true. Shouldn't you still be not turning off switches and stuff? Have you looked at a cockpit lately? My God.
They all turn themselves off, I think, probably.
When I look in that cockpit, it's like I think about the first time I went into a recording studio and I saw like a 48-channel desk, and I looked at the producer and I was like, "Do you know what every one of these buttons does?" And you look at a pilot and you're like, "You don't know what any of those things do. You're just reading that little pamphlet or something."
I sure as hell hope they know what half of them do.
On an Air France flight over the Atlantic Ocean recently, it was over northern Canada, had just crossed the ocean. There was a medical situation with a passenger who had a little problem, and the pilot made the decision he had to bring the plane down. He then took to the PA to explain what had just happened to the people. Here's the first part of the pilot explaining what's going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. One of our passengers needs some medical care. We asked for a doctor. Nobody was on board. So we are now diverting to St. John in Newfoundland, Canada. And we will have to offload this passenger to the hospital. This is your captain speaking. You'll be happy to learn that our passenger, which we saved her life, and she was a bit angry to be offloaded with the aircraft. And she gave us a finger when leaving the aircraft.
She gave us the finger?
She was unhappy to be removed from the aircraft and gave them the finger on her way out as the medical personnel were taking her to the hospital. She couldn't believe they by the way, that's a French person right there. How dare you make me the scorn of everybody else? I would have survived. Of course I had a heart attack. Look how many cigarettes I smoke. I mean, and she's pissed off at the pilot about it.
Yeah. I think she's just as pissed about being left in Newfoundland.
That could be a part of it. That could be a part
but that
of it.
Still
they
isn't...
got the cool dogs, right?
Yeah, and for the record, I would go to Newfoundland in a heartbeat. That's probably gorgeous. I'm just saying that's probably part of the reason, but it still doesn't warrant a middle finger, for the love of God.
You don't understand. I'm from Paris, okay? And you drop me off in the middle of nowhere because of my little heart attack? You drama queen. I could totally see her reaching for her lighter as the paramedics are reviving her.
Right.
Yes.
First things first.
You saved my life.
I would not have had a problem if you had let me smoke on this flight. By the way, the last time I was on a plane where they were still allowing smoking was an Air France flight, and I am making fun of the elderly, very glamorous French woman who smoked about 2 packs on one flight, just nonstop.
Really?
Oh my
heater
God.
after heater after heater. And she looked like Audrey Hepburn, so I couldn't be mad at her. I was like, that's an old woman who's still got all the style, all the panache. And she looked like she would have scratched my eyes out if I had looked at her sideways. Don't get in between a French woman and her cigarettes, even if her heart's stopping. That's the lesson I learned.
Yeah, and don't pick Newfoundland.
And by the way, I'm just there's something genuinely hilarious to me about I would hate to be on a plane. I'd hate to have a medical emergency on a plane, but I'd hate to be on a plane where you get rerouted. I mean, that's hours. After a long flight, everybody on that plane is minimum 2 or 3 hours out of the already long day added to it, right? You have to divert a plane. You got to get clearance to take off again. I mean, it's a lot. But if I were on that plane and I'd been kind of annoyed, I'm like, oh, but then you're like, oh, well, she's having a problem. This is
thing.
good.
Yeah.
And then, you got to understand that. But then watching her pop up and flip off the pilot and bitch about being taken off the plane, I would tell that story for the rest of my life. I mean, that's one of the funniest, craziest things imaginable. You brought this plane down and the pilot saved your life, and then you're yelling at him and cussing him out. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's one perspective.
If I'm going to be on a flight that's diverted, I hope it's that. I want to see the angry woman pissed off at the pilot for saving her life.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. Is that on a flight like that, every second counts, and at least if you're going to get that inconvenienced, you want a story to attach to it. I can see that for sure.
I'm just glad she's bringing the middle finger back into fashion. I feel like we may have lost it.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like it's in fashion to me. It sounds like we're mocking and ridiculing her.
I'm all for it, man. I'm with you. Bring the finger back. Bring the finger back, and for that matter, as long as we're here, bring back the cigarettes. I don't care. I'm turning 60 very soon. It's high time I started smoking. I think I got enough time to make it cool, and I'll get through it. Okay. But it's funny I say all this because I am a real stickler for the rules on a plane. If I'm going to be in an aluminum tube at 35,000 feet, pay attention to the rules. Don't smoke in the bathroom. And the vaping, that's smoking at 30,000 feet. You're not allowed to vape. This is great. And Instagram pickleball coach. I can't believe there's someone who would admit to being a pickleball coach with an Instagram following of 25,000 people. A dude who's like, hey, I'm a pickleball coach. I'm an influencer. Look at what's happening to me on a plane. He's caught vaping in the airplane lavatory. The flight attendant opens the door and is like, yo, I can smell it. And then he immediately starts to record their interaction. And he escalates this thing very quickly. And then, of course, breaks out the ultimate threat at 30,000 feet, which is that, hey, I know my business here. I know who I am.
It's a hazardous fire.
But I was actually sitting on the toilet and you were opening the door.
I don't care.
I'm sorry about that.
You can keep saying you're sorry, but I'm here to
I got
all
it.
these passengers.
Yes, I got it. Yes.
I see your recording.
That's fine.
Right
You're not
now.
allowed to do that. She just put her hands on me.
No, she did
Yes,
not.
she did. I have a lawyer. I am a lawyer.
I am a lawyer. Whatever.
I am a lawyer.
I thought you were a pickleball coach.
Yeah, that is making things up on the fly. That's what that is.
And he's shooting this video, and he posted it to his own account. Like, can you believe this happened to me? And, of course, every person who sees it is like, dude, delete your life, much less your account. Come up with some new ideas here. But when he said, I have a lawyer, I am a lawyer. My first thought was, I thought you were a punching bag, because I would have bitch slapped that dude. I'm comfortable flying until something goes wrong. And then it's like, hey, man, you're going to sit down and you're going to shut up and you're going to keep your seatbelt fastened and I'm going to sit on top of you. Don't vape in the bathroom.
A flight like that is a community, and we all have to observe the social rules. And when you break them, everybody on board has a responsibility or a stake in the game, man.
Listen, there's probably been a lot of people who have vaped in the bathroom. I get it. Flights can be long. But when you get busted, just own up to it. Just say, all right, you got me. I did wrong. Sorry, flight attendant. I'm going to go sit down and mind my business.
Don't be a punk.
And I will say this, if you're vaping on a plane, to Ryder's point, okay, it could be a long flight, you might be stressed. But if you have one of those fruity smelling vapes, I'm smacking. I mean, can they not have vapes that just smell like cigarettes? And can we just cut through the middle? It doesn't smell better.
No, it
doesn't smell better. It smells worse. It smells like a cigarette and a cherry. It's like, no, just give me the cigarette. Keep it old school, and we can all at least get along for a minute. Hey, this afternoon, 5:30 p.m., the three of us, along with a few other of the KQ family, we're going to be in Invert Grove Heights, out on the Waxwood at Drax.
Let's go.
Drkula's Bowl tonight at 5:30 p.m. The winner of KQ's bestest bowling alley in the metro. So please, if you're in that area, come out and join us. If you're not in that area, then drive from wherever you are to come out and join us. How's that for a plan?
Yeah, or take a helicopter, whatever you need to do.
Just get there, for crying out loud. Rank you very much. A Thursday tradition like no other.
That's right.
As long as we're going to Drax tonight, let's have a bowling-themed rank you very much. That's in about 5 minutes and 2 songs.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.
Gorman in the morning. It is time for Rank You Very Much. As we've been mentioning for the last couple days, this afternoon, 5:30, we're going to be at Drax in Inver Grove Heights throwing a few three-holed balls on the waxwood. And so we figured for Rank You Very Much, why don't we list our favorite TV shows or movies that feature bowling. How about
that? Game
on. Best movie and or TV shows
I know one that
feature bowling.
Should be on everybody's list, and I'm going to be real bummed if it doesn't make an appearance 3 times during Rank You Very Much.
Yeah, well, prepare to be bummed.
Really?
Well, listen, you never know. We never know. I honest to God, there's nothing on this show that I'm more surprised by than some of the selections I hear on Rank You Very Much.
Okay.
I imagine this week will be no different. Ryder, give us your number 3.
Okay, I'm going to start with my number 3. It is an underrated John Candy movie. The scene is from Uncle Buck.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
He's got it. He takes the kids bowling. He drags Snotty Tia along. One of his sleazebag friends is hitting on her, and he pulls out the, don't you have a game to be getting back to?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Toothpick Man. He's got a gnarly scar on his lip and a black eye, and he's got a Bronco out in the parking lot that he'd like to introduce her to.
Yes, but wouldn't it have been a blast to go bowling with John Candy and smoke cigars inside?
Oh, my God, yes.
So there we go.
It's funny you say that because if you said, okay, you got one game of bowling with anybody, he's on the short list. Has to be.
100%.
Yeah, Toothpick Guy. He's an all-time. What's his name? That guy was in a bunch of movies, always for 1.5 scenes.
Yeah.
He's on the scene, and then someone makes him leave the scene almost every time. He had that character down. Yeah, Uncle Buck.
Absolutely.
I forgot all about that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Number 3, Uncle Buck.
Very solid. Number 3, Fletcher. What do you got?
If Rank You Very Much was a top 4 and not a top 3, Uncle Buck would have been on mine. My number 3 is a gnarly scene that takes place in Daniel Day-Lewis's character Daniel's private bowling alley in the movie There Will Be Blood, where he seeks revenge against Paul Dano's character. Eli beats the tar out of him with a bowling pin. It's intense as hell. They're both acting their asses off. I drink your milkshake!
Yes.
Oh, God.
Paul Dano's such a freaking twerp.
Dude, he's a great actor, though. But I just got goosebumps in my whole body just thinking about that scene again. It's so good.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fun facts. Paul Dano's niece and my son went to school together for 13 years.
Okay.
Oh, wow. How about that?
Family friends. What are
I'm
you going to
sure
do?
he's a nice human, but come on. He has
Seems
a very
to be.
punchable face.
Did a great job with Brian Wilson.
Never more in that movie did a face want to be punched.
Oh, my God,
I mean,
he was
punched
obnoxious.
or crushed in with a bowling pin, as it turns out.
Yeah.
All right,
Steve, what do you got?
What's your 3?
My number 3. When I was about 15, this thing popped up on HBO. The movie is called Dreamer. And this is back when you'd watch, they only had like 6 movies.
Okay.
Tim Matheson, who not only played Otter in Animal House, but was the voice of Johnny Quest when he was a kid. That right there puts him in the all-time coolest guy Hall of Fame. He plays basically Rocky as a bowler.
Wow.
And I
Really?
watched this movie one summer, like 79 or 80, over and over and over it was on. And he is the dreamer. It's called Dreamer. And he's got the girlfriend. He's from the small town. He's got this irascible manager who's played by Jack Warden, who's been in a bunch of great movies.
Yep.
And they're trying to get this kid out of a small town in Illinois to be the bowling national champion. and I mean, when he throws a strike and he does a split and he's doing like Pete Townsend windmills. It's just awesome. And then it came, and I loved it when I was a kid. And then I saw. Probably, I was going to say 10 years ago. It might have even been 15 or 20 years ago. It popped up one night flipping channels, and I watched it. And it's one of the worst movies ever made. As an adult, I was like, oh, my God, I used to love this movie. And I just now, when I was thinking about it, I was like, I love Dreamer. I looked it up. The New York Times review at the time it came out said, I'm not sure I've ever seen a movie that was supposed to tell a story and managed to be as uneventful as Dreamer. But... Fun fact, the trailer for Dreamer, the quote for the movie is, a man dreams of winning, a woman dreams of loving, a dreamer dreams of both. Come on! Come on, someone wrote that.
Oh, man.
Someone wrote that line. Someone approved that line. Someone narrated that line. And someone stuck that line on a TV commercial. Dreamer is my number 3.
I wish we
my
could stick
God.
that on a T-shirt at the state fair.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know what's stopping us.
I think we're out of time. I think
Maybe
we're past the deadline. Look for it in
You know what?
2026.
I was going to say, I bet there's going to be another fair one day.
Dreamer.
All right, number 2 is
Dreamer.
Ryder. What do you
Okay,
got?
my number 2, and I'm going to guess I'm probably the only person who's going to feature a TV show today, but I'm going to take you back to a simpler time. It was the very first season of The Simpsons, and Marge got from Homer a bowling ball for her birthday.
Yeah.
And she, as a middle finger to Homer, took that bowling ball with Homer's name on it down to the bowling alley and met a Frenchman or a Canadian or something, but the dude's name was like Jacques, and he taught her how to bowl.
Hold on. That was in the first season?
Yes, it was season 1, episode 9.
I remember that so clearly because he says, I'll take you to brunch. And she says, what's that? He goes, it's kind of like breakfast. It's kind of like, it's not quite breakfast. It's not quite lunch, but there's a slice of cantaloupe involved.
Yes.
It's something along, I'm paraphrasing. Oh, I can't believe
think
that's from
exactly
the first
it.
season.
Yes.
I don't know if I've seen it since, but I always remembered that.
Oh, yeah. I learned so much about bowling and marriage in that episode. So, yes, that is my number 2.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
That is strong.
Man, we're on a tear. All right, Paul Fletcher, number 2.
I'm pretty sure I can derail that tear right now because I'm going to go to a low-hanging fruit rom-com called The Breakup. Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn are in the midst of an ugly breakup. Vince's character, Gary, gets kicked off the bowling team at the bowling alley because he's no longer it's a couple's bowling team.
Yes.
And he's the odd man out. He not only is asked to leave the team, but they vote him off, but they even make him give them his bowling shirt so they don't get fined as a team. And he has to walk out of the bowling alley, shirt off, which, Vince Vaughn without a shirt off it's an awkward look.
You know what?
Yeah, it was dad bod before it was dad bod right there.
Yeah, for sure.
I've got to confess, I've not seen this movie. I'm flying blind for the first time in the listing here.
You know how sometimes rom-coms can actually grab you and you're like, oh, you know what? This is actually pretty good. This one was one of those. It's sharp. It gets a little blue at times, and I dig it. I thought it was good.
I think that's kind of a weak bowling thing. Did they even throw a bowling ball in that scene?
No. Nope.
I thought that was a setup when you say, you know how rom-coms sometimes grab you? This isn't one of those. I thought that's where you were going.
No, it's a good one. No, it's a good one. I like it.
All right.
I stand by it. In fact, I put it ahead of my number 3. I mean, it was good.
I plant that flag, brother. I appreciate that.
Thanks.
My number 2, going back to the boob tube, as they used to call it, the television.
Yeah.
Now, this is regional, and I realize I'm flying alone on this one. But as a child, growing up in the state of Maryland, in Baltimore, Maryland, WBAL, duck pins and dollars on the weekend. Okay, duck pin bowling is a Maryland thing. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Okay, duck pin bowling it's 10 pins, but they're small and they're chubby. It's like a bowling pin's been squished down to half its height and twice as wide. It looks like a little mini fire hydrant.
Okay.
And you don't have a ball with holes. You're holding a ball in your hand like it's about a shot put size. And so the pins are really small, and the ball, you just fling it. It's like a 3-pound ball. It's impossible to get a strike in duck pins bowling. It's just a bizarre Maryland thing that was invented because it was so hot in the summers they had to bowl outside and the bigger balls were too scary. There's a whole story, a local legend. But on local TV, they would have duck pins and dollars. And the whole game was this. It was 30 minutes, and they'd be at a bowling alley, and it's like black and white television, and they'd say, coming up next, here's Ryder. Ryder, all you got to do is throw a strike. And if you threw a strike, which is damn near impossible, you won like $20. And people would be like, yeah! That's it. If you throw a strike, you win. If you don't, you walk out nothing. And it was all brought to you by National Bohemian, Natty Boh, the beer of Baltimore.
Yes.
And it was just so, but duck pins and dollars. We would gather, hey, duck pins is on, and we'd run to the den and sit there and watch it. And then we would go play, we would roll duck pins all the time. And now, if you see duck pins now, it's like a Pop-A-Shot. It's a small lane, and it's like there's a company that builds them. You go into a bar now, and they'll have a duck pin lane. But in the old days, it was an actual full-size bowling lane, and you're rolling a shot put at tiny pins that are impossible to knock down. It was basically like... It was about as fun as throwing darts at each other, honestly, now that I look back.
Yeah. I can't believe you watched this on TV.
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
it was Saturday appointment television.
Yeah, and it would be like, and it would always be like a housewife who's never played would be the one to get the strike. I don't know what I was doing. And we'd be like, oh, man. And, she'd go to church the next morning and everybody be like, I saw you on duck pins. Oh, my God, congratulations. You're blessed.
I'm excited to tell you that Skyline Social and Games has a duck pin bowling alley in Hermantown, just outside of Duluth, and they plan to open a new location in Apple Valley.
I bet it's that new size. I bet it's a short size. But if it's old school, full on, man, I'm there. The text line, Paul Fletcher.
Kathy, Rose, Vince all just simply said Kingpin, which is not a bad one at all. We got a few for the Big Lebowski as well.
Of course.
But we got one with that did it properly. They gave us their top three. Uncle Buck number 3, Flintstones number 2, Kingpin number 1.
Flintstones.
Yeah, Twinkle Toes.
Oh my God,
Fred
that's
Flintstone,
right. Oh yeah, Fred. Yeah, and then the ball would stop, and it splits open like an egg, and the dinosaur knocks the pins with his tail.
Yeah.
It's
fantastic.
715 area code, no name attached, unfortunately. But then lastly, I wanted to say, Kevin texted and said, duck pin bowling sounds a lot like Canadian bowling. I'm not sure what Canadian bowling is, but maybe you do.
And also, by the way, in the Northeast, like New England, they have candlepin bowling, which you have the same ball as a duck pin, but the pins are tall and really skinny. They look like candles. Equally as difficult. I think duck pin's a little harder, but candlepin also just... And by the way, you get 3 balls of frame, not 2, in both candlepin and duck pin, because you're torturing yourself, and you got to have an extra throw, just so you don't feel like a complete numbskull. All right, our number ones. Let's have them. Ryder.
Number 1, if we aren't around the horn with the exact same number 1 movie, I'm going to be real bummed. You guys are going to be doing some homework this weekend. This is, of course, the ultimate bowling movie. It is The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
The Dude Abides. F it, dude. Let's go bowling. Come on. I don't even want to go bowling today. I just want to sit at the bar and quote Big Lebowski with people is all I want to do.
Something tells me that's what you're going to be doing.
Probably
that's called calling one's own shot, I believe. Ryder and Babe Ruth.
So good. So just every moment is perfect. And all the bowling scenes are great. Over the line, Smokey. Come on.
There's no arguing it. I mean, it's an all-timer. And the local flavor, we don't even need to start on that. All right, Paul Fletcher, you're number 1.
You know what? I appreciate where Ryder's coming from, but there's one other movie that is about bowling that it surpasses it. There's lots of bowling scenes in it, but the opening scene sets up the whole thing. It is Kingpin, and here it is.
It all comes down to this role. Roy Munson, a man-child, with a dream to topple bowling giant Ernie McCracken. If he strikes, he's the 1979 Odor Eaters champion. He's got 1 foot in the frying pan and 1 in the pressure cooker. Believe me, as a bowler, I know that right about now, your bladder feels like an overstuffed vacuum cleaner bag, and your butt is kind of like an about-to-explode bratwurst.
Hey, you mind? I wasn't talking when you were bowling.
Was I talking out loud?
I mean, Woody Harrelson, Big Ernie McCracken, of course, played by the legendary Bill Murray. I mean, they take an Amish kid and turn him into a world champion. It's a good a story as there is on the planet.
You're putting that up against the Jesus?
No, I didn't put it against. I put it above.
Wow. Here's the difference between the two in my mind. I saw Kingpin in the theater and really liked it, and I've never thought about it since. Although that's really funny to hear it. I saw Big Lebowski in the theater, and I couldn't stop thinking about it because I was like so confused. By the time it ended, I was like, "What the hell just happened?" And then I had to go back and see it again. But now that I'm hearing that, I'm like, I think I gotta dial up Kingpin again. That's pretty good.
You got come to Drkula's tonight to get Munson. That's what I say. Randy Quaid also in it. I mean, it's and the Farrelly brothers. It's amazing.
My number one, stepping on toes, as we tend to do with this game. You go back to 2007, and you thought Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men was the movie's top sociopath of the year. But no, he was out sociopathed by Daniel Plainview, the oil man.
All right.
From There Will Be Blood, DDL, taking that bowling pin right where it belongs, right down the middle.
Did you think your song and dance and your superstition would help you, Eli? I am the third revelation. I am who the Lord has chosen. Because I'm smarter than you.
Okay.
I drink your milkshake.
I think probably
so
the
good.
third time I watched that movie, it hit me. Oh, this is actually just a dark comedy. The whole movie's, it's all about vengeance and greed and capitalism and the inherent depravity therein. However, I think Paul Thomas Anderson was laughing his ass off watching them shoot that scene. He was like, these two guys are acting for the championship belt of all time, and at the end of it, it's just hilarious.
There's no way that those two actors don't laugh their butts off after they get done. Like they're like, break, whatever, cut, whatever, and those two just have to be like rolling while they're doing it.
I don't think Daniel Day-Lewis has ever laughed at anything, to be honest with you.
Right. That's probably very true.
Somebody on the text line says, please buy Ryder a White Russian tonight. Yes, thumbs up on that one.
First one's on me.
There's
Fair
a
enough.
beverage here. Yeah.
Okay, there you have your Rank You Very Much. Again, Drkula's 5:30 p.m. We'll be there. Today at 5:30, we're at Drax in Inver Grove Heights. We're going to be throwing some bowling balls. We're going to be having a good time. Why don't you join us? My greatest ever bowling memory actually started when I was on a riding lawnmower. I'm cutting the grass. I'm in 9th grade, and I'm just out in the front yard, and I'm just going back and forth, doing my laps, cutting the grass, and I see a Miller beer truck. Approach from the street, stops. Guy looks at the mailbox, makes sure he has the right address, and then he goes beyond the driveway and then does the 3-point turn, the reverse, and starts backing up the driveway. I say up. It was a flat lot, but I mean, he's just coming backwards all the way towards the carport with a giant Miller beer truck. Doot, doot, doot. And I'm like, what is happening? And I turn the lawnmower off and I walk over, and this dude gets out and he goes, Gorman? I said, yeah. I got 100 cases of High Life. And I'm like,
what?
Okay. And I'm like, hang on. Let me get my dad. I walk in and I go, Dad, there's a beer truck here. What? And like, so like all of a sudden he's mad at me for inviting a beer truck over.
Right.
I'm like, no, I don't know. The guy just backed up. And we walk out and my dad goes, what the hell are you doing? Immediately in the guy's face. What the hell are you doing? And he goes, Gorman, I got 100 cases of High Life. And my dad sits there for 2 seconds and he starts laughing. And here's the story. My dad worked for Ebonite Bowling Balls. That's the company that's why we moved to Kentucky. He got a job there. He was the president of this company for a few years. And Earl Anthony, the greatest bowler on earth in the late 70s, rolled for Ebonite. So he was friends with my dad. He'd been to our house. I went to a bowling alley with Earl Anthony once. It was like walking into Buckingham Palace with Queen Elizabeth. Trust me.
Wow.
He won the Miller Open that year, and he got 2 things: a check for $100,000 and 100 cases of Miller High Life. And Earl Anthony did not drink, so he sent it to the Gormans.
Yeah.
Wow.
How cool is that?
Beer. Yes.
And so I watched this guy load 100. That's 2,400 bottles of High Life into the carport, and I'm thinking, it looks like I'm going to start drinking beer now. And of course, as I'm thinking that, my dad's like, I know exactly how many cases that is. Don't even think about it. I'm like, oh, come on. And so, but the funny news is my brother Dave was a freshman in college an hour away. And my dad called him and he said, you got any friends with a car? I was like, yeah. He goes, I got 100 cases of beer here if you want it. And so 2 hours later, my brother shows up with a buddy, and they have like a ginormous Vista Cruiser station wagon, and they with the seats would fold down, which was unusual back then.
Yeah.
And they put, I don't know, 40 cases of beer into a station wagon. 2 college freshmen in 1979. I mean, that was a gold strike. Yeah. That was the greatest thing in the world. And so that still left a mountain of beer. And so my other brother, who was still home, me and Doug, we looked at that beer for weeks going, do you think he'd really notice if we just took 1 6-pack out of there?
No.
And finally decided to go for it, and we we dug deep into the mountain of beer and took some out of the middle and then repacked it all around.
I like this.
And, yeah, and of course, my dad never noticed because everyone in the neighborhood knew our carport had beer, and Don Gorman didn't drink either, so people were just coming over and taking it. But for about a month, I was concerned. I was like, you know what? The lights are gonna come on at 3 a.m. and I'm gonna get my ass kicked for drinking 2 Miller High Lifes. But it never happened. So I kind of feel like I got away with murder.
You really did. You absolutely did. And the champagne and beers, man, can be flowing this afternoon too. So
you shook certain death, is what you did.
I think in honor of Earl the Pearl, the great Earl Anthony, God rest his immortal soul, I might have a high life today.
I was going to say that. Yeah, you absolutely should. Today's the day.
It's always good to have a plan. And thankfully, thanks to you guys for listening, we've got one now. Hey, real quick question. I'm curious. You're in a car for 12 hours. We brought this up the other day, and we got to go back in. For 12 hours, you're in a car, and you got one voice to listen to, one singer, solo artist, band, whatever, but it's the same singer for 12 hours. 651-989-ROCK. Hit the text line. Who you picking?
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Thursday morning. The question right now, you are in the car or your truck or on your bike. I don't care. You got a 12-hour road trip, and you're going to listen to one singer the whole time. Now, it can be somebody who's in a band and then goes solo and then goes into another band and then goes solo and then is in a duet, but it's got to be the same voice. It can't be a band name. I want the one voice. Don't say Eagles. I want Fry or Henley, not a band name. Who's the singer you're going with for 12 hours? 651-989-ROCK. Something tells me there's 9 million text messages.
There are. For one of the first ones I saw, Geddy Lee, because if I'm in a car for 12 hours, I want to be alone. That's Anne from Eden Prairie.
I don't get that.
I don't either. But she had
quick shout out for Geddy Lee. He's on a Doug and Bob McKenzie song, so I just might throw that on for 12 hours.
Take off,
yeah.
To the great white north.
James Hetfield from Steven. Now, I love Metallica. I'd be exhausted after 12 hours of that.
Oh, sure. Well, we talked about this recently, and I said James Brown because I'm thinking something's got to get me through Indiana. You know what I mean? Like there's just a lot of cornfields. And I've never. You can't fall asleep when James Brown's singing.
Correct.
That's true.
Come on.
Rick said Brent Smith of Shinedown. I could easily listen for 12 hours. Dan agreed with Ryder's take from the other day. Chris Cornell citing Audio Slave's albums as part of the collection. And Amanda chimed in with Josh Homme of Queens of the Stone Age. You also get Eagles of Death Metal, Them Crooked Vultures, and Caius.
Okay, well, fair enough.
These are all solid picks, but the thing with Hetfield and with Brent Smith of Shinedown is you only get one band as far as I know.
Yeah.
You don't get multiple different kinds of music. And I know that Metallica, their catalog can last you 12 hours, but still, I'm feeling you're limited in yourself.
You're going to be exhausted.
That's a very good point. I mean, it does. So your Cornell pick was pretty good the other day. We talked yesterday or 2 days ago, Paul, you were talking about Robert Plant has a new album out with his new band. Mm-hmm. And Robert Plant, if you want a guy who's, if you want variety, obviously you've got Led Zeppelin. Yeah. And then you've got the stuff with Alison Krauss. And then you've got, he's had 7 different bands and projects at least of note. The Honey Drippers all the way to the new thing. I mean, there's a lot going on there. Uncle Bob can get you to a whole lot of different places emotionally, I would imagine.
A wide range, yeah,
100%, and a wide range of styles too. Does it have to be music? Because I could just listen to Morgan Freeman narrate books.
Well, okay.
That's a whole different way to look at that. Yeah,
that is. Yeah. No, we did not specify it has to be music. We said we said singer. I wonder if Freeman can sing.
What can't Morgan Freeman do, really?
I still, I will say I'm still a little scarred from the opening ceremonies of the World Cup last year in Qatar when he walked out there and what does it mean to have the, and there was that guy who had, I don't know, it was the last place I ever expected to see Freeman. I'm like, come on, man. I want to hear about get busy living or get busy dying. And you're here messing up the World Cup. What are you doing?
We got a few texts that said the Beatles and Ryder went back at them and said, no, it's singer, not band. And then every single one of them has chosen Paul. I feel bad for John.
Okay.
Well, the John Solo work, I mean, before you get to Double Fantasy, you're still dealing with a lot of scream therapy, and so that can wear you down. You know, he was howling it all out. He had a lot to get out of off his system in those early days. 651-989-ROCK. Oh my gosh, the text line is smoking hot right now. You got 12 hours. Who are you listening to? I had a pretty good moment. Speaking of singers, a few days ago when very unexpectedly, I guess it was about a week ago, Connell Gorman said, so kind of into Sinatra right now. And I said, of course you are. Of course you are. You just turned 25. That's when it happens. You're a young lad. You've decided cocktails are cooler than beer. You understand some of the finer things in life, or you think you do, and you're digging in, and suddenly you're like, he's like, I don't know, man. I mean, it's just... all of a sudden, I kind of got it. I'm like, oh, yeah, these are good years. The early Sinatra years in a young man's life, pretty special.
100%.
Is there anybody saying Sinatra on the text line? There's got to be one.
We've gotten two. One said Sinatra hands down. That was from Dina. Matt said, this is a good one. I could listen to Sam Cooke for 12 hours.
Ooh, yeah, okay. That's not bad.
Couple nods to Elvis have finally come in, notably Mark from Eden Prairie. That's a good one. And then Dean Smith makes a good point. And I don't think it's Dean Smith, the coach from North Carolina.
The only man to hold Michael Jordan under 23 points a game? Holy crap.
Have we forgot about our beloved Prince? There was a man with a lot of variety. Ballad?
Yeah, you need a lot more than 12 hours to get through the Prince catalog. That's for sure.
And, this is another good one. Serpico says Tom Petty, Mudcrutch, Traveling Wilburys with Stevie Nicks, his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Prince, duet with Lenny Kravitz, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Serpico's playing the game there.
Petty for the win. Good
Stretching that catalog,
651-989-ROCK. You got one singer. You got 12 hours. Light it up.
The texts have legitimately been endless. This person bends the rules a little, but I'm going to allow it because it's pretty entertaining. How about had to listen to? Back when, on long road trips, my mom made us listen to Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, just 1 8-track over and over.
Yes.
Oh, nothing wrong with that, dude.
No, absolutely not.
That's pretty fun. Come on. Hell yeah. We did a beach trip with 2 8-track tapes, 12 hours each way. Fly Like an Eagle, Steve Miller Band, and the Beatles' Abbey Road. And boy, let me tell you, back in the days when radio stations weren't so easy to find, man, you can really overdo Fly Like an Eagle by Steve Miller. All respect, of course. Just saying. 651-989-ROCK, 12 hours. Who are you going to listen to?
It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the Morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. REM, Losing My Religion, which means feeling very frustrated. It's a Southern term. Like, I'm so annoyed. And I don't think Michael Stipe wanted to sing a song about, I'm so pissed off I can't see straight. Losing my religion just fit the mood better.
I'd like to hear that song, too.
I know. Well, he's got a few, but he was mumbling in the 80s, and so you couldn't tell what he was talking about. The album Out of Time was their biggest album by far upon its release. It won a ton of Grammy Awards. It sold many, many millions of copies. It's called Out of Time simply because they were in the studio and the deadline was approaching and their manager said, that's it, you're done. You have to turn the record in. You're out of time.
Yes.
That's
like
brilliant.
that too.
It's brilliant.
They're like, well, okay. And, of course, everyone's like, oh, my God, there's a mystical meaning. They're from who knows when. They're time travel. No, they were getting yelled at by their manager.
Yeah. I love stories like this when we hear, you get these songs or albums or pieces that are steeped in legend and in history, and then you find out, it's because we were literally out of time.
Hey, studio time's not cheap.
That's right.
No, it's definitely not cheap back in the day, especially. So speaking of great historical things that you're going to appreciate, I'm going to tell you a little story about one of the key reasons, the man you've never heard of who played a very, 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 very large role in winning the Second World War. That's right. That's the last word. Major William Martin was the brainchild of an intelligence officer named Ewan Montague. And Ewan Montague, sitting in London, watching the war play out, said, Spain, which was technically neutral, but leaning towards the Axis powers, a friendly place. He's like, that place is crawling with Germans. I got an idea. So here was his idea. He took Major William Martin and basically killed him, put a dead body in a military uniform and had him wash upon the shore in Spain.
Oh, creepy.
Yes.
Wow.
A matter of time before the body was discovered, some locals found a British officer dead, drowned, floated up on shore. Some Germans ran to check it out, and they were like, hang on, he's got a briefcase with him. It's got all these documents that say they're not going to invade Sicily, but instead they're going to go to Greece and Sardinia. And it even had love letters to his home, and it had ticket stubs, and it had all the things. He must be a real person. And the Germans moved their defenses from Sicily, where they fully expected the Allies to attack, to Greece and Sardinia.
Wow.
And then the Allies attacked Sicily and took over Italy very quickly, and that was a big domino towards knocking out the Third Reich. It was called Operation Mincemeat. And
I've heard of Operation Mincemeat.
This is it, man.
So Major William Martin wasn't a real person, but there was a real dead body. It was a homeless dude named Glyndwr Michael from Wales.
Oh, no.
Found himself. They were waiting for a body, and they found one. And they swear they didn't make that body a body. They no, we waited for someone to die.
Natural
But something tells me they were like, you know what? We got to do this. We got to plant a body. Bring one to me. Anyway, hey, Glyndwr Michael, nice job, dude. Sorry you didn't have much of a life, but you did a hell of a job in death.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, bait and switch, baby.
That's what that's called. Tomorrow on Gorman in the Morning, we're going to play a little game called Double or Nothing for Farm Aid Tickets 2025. That's in a little over a month. Tonight at 5:30, we are at Drax in Inver Grove Heights. Come join us. Fletcher, what's coming up next?
11:45-ish, go commercial free, 4-pack of passes to Heydays and some of the best rock on the planet.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.